Hello and welcome to day 16 of 100. These days are just going by, but we're picking up the pace. There's a lot that has happened and I really can't wait to be putting everything that we've learned to the test. Today I spent some time setting up VS Code, which was really exciting. I got some awesome new extensions that's going to come in handy with its IntelliSense and auto completion, and yeah, just in general covering up some ES6 stuff, look at all the cool things that one can actually do. I can't wait to be using them at some point in time. But for now, let's continue on our little quest, getting through the rest of the ES6 challenge. Destructuring assignment to assign variables from objects. Sounds very exciting. Destructuring. Wow. Sounds like you're taking something apart. We saw earlier how spread operator can effectively spread or unpack the contents of the array. We could do something similar with objects as well. Destructuring assignment is special syntax for neatly assigning values taken directly from an object to variables. Consider the following ES5 code. Voxel equal to x 3.6, y 7.4, so it's like coordinates or something, huh? xyz voxel.x is 3.6. Voxel.y, or rather y is 7.4 and z is 6.54. Right. Here's the same assignment with ES6 destructuring syntax. Const xyz equal to voxel. No, really? So it's gonna take each variable and assign it? What if you have like 4 variables but only 3 items of the object? If instead you want to store the values of voxel x into A, voxel y into B, and voxel z into C, you have the freedom as well. X is A, y is B. What? That's crazy. You may have read it as get the field x and copy the value into A, and so on. Or you may read it as. Okay, so it's getting the object add. Okay, so if it wasn't the property, you wouldn't be able to do that. I want to actually try that quickly. I'm gonna play around with this. Oh, wait, hold on. We know about that. We want this. We don't want to use the old form. That doesn't quite work, because when we do const x, that doesn't necessarily give us what we need, does it? Oh. Interesting. Oh, right. That would probably explain it, right? I'm still amazed by this, but what if I did... So if I did y here, what if I did only x and y, no z? Ah, because it doesn't exist. What if I said A? Because A doesn't exist as a property. Ah. And then I can go XA, right? Is that not working? Oh, do I need A as well? Let A. And why doesn't this work? Console.log A. Do I need to do it for each pair? Is that why? Am I missing something now again? No, I'm not missing anything. Maybe something inside of here. So how's mine any different to theirs, but why isn't A working? Why can't I log A? Fun times when you gotta debug that stuff, huh? The declaration's the same. X-Diglet! Hey! Haven't seen you around before, it's good to have you. Voxel doesn't contain A, yeah. We're calling it X, Y, and Z, but we're assigning X to A, and as per the example, this should work. Unless, can I do let? No, X is defined. Do I have to like let A in there? And that obviously doesn't work because it assigns it as a variable, and I can't do let A outside of it because then it's like duplicate declaration. So it's quite strange. Hey H3H3, you here as well? How's it going? Is Automod giving you trouble again? Let's see. I have to learn JS as well. Can't find jQuery tutorials for projects I can practice with. I told you. Whoever told you to do jQuery before JS was trolling you. You need to know the foundations first. But luckily for you, it's not that hard. Ooh, by the way, I set up VS Code, guys. I'm so excited for it. I feel like I'm gonna show it off. Window capture. I guess I could do a window capture. VS Code. I'm just gonna have to drag this somewhere down there. How does that look? Hold on, I probably need to make it a little bit bigger for you guys. At the cost of make it like smaller for me. Can I zoom in? Control plus equal. That's a new one. Control plus equal. Ooh, there we go. Just to show you guys a little bit. I set up ESLint with the Airbnb preset. It's pretty exciting. Also got a live preview server. I should probably shut that down. I just realized. It's incredible, and I just love the fact that I could just mouse over things. Like check this H3H3. If I try to do var a equal to 2, I'll get an error. And you'll see all var declarations should be at the top of the function, and also unexpected var. Use let or const instead. That is so cool. So I can go quick fix, and I can fix this no var problem. I can just let it do it for me, and it changes it to let. And now the thing is, if a never changes, we can actually change it to a constant. And here we're going to have an issue. A is never assigned or never reassigned. Use const instead. So we can then go and fix this prefer const, and I'll change it to a const. And then it will tell me, you assigned the value but you never used it, so you probably don't need this variable, which is really cool, because when I went through my code, this was one of my JavaScript games that I worked on like ages ago, and then I realized something like resb income. I had like a bonus income that I was going to assign to the players, but I realized, hey, I never use it, and I never would have known. Like, honestly, I would have written this. It's like, shit, I know, I need to break it down, different like files and whatever, and clean the logic, but I never would have known. Like, I just have variables here that are defined. I never use them. And res names, for example, it's so weird. Like, I defined their names, but I never used them. And obviously I probably didn't know how you can split an array. Now I do, you know, get at index of 0, 1, 2, whatever for each name, each resource based off that, but I never did that. So like, I literally called it and I never specified it. And it's just so cool, like being able to see every single error, line spacing, and I is not defined because I don't know how I did that. No wonder shit didn't work back then. Just so many unknown definitions, and it's so amazing. So there's a lot to fix, but I'll probably rewrite it from scratch. That was when I had like no experience. I just like, I want to make a game. Didn't go too well, but I mean it kind of works because let me show you guys. Where is it? D drop. Why am I struggling? There it is. And then it is in here. And then I need to somehow... No, why did I do that? I should be able to open it in here. I think I opened it before to show you guys. Nope, that's the actual script itself. It's this one. So yeah, it kind of looks like this. Very simple. There's your basic resources. You build something, a carbon mine. This is carbon. So if I click it, it's going to take some resources, and then when it's done building, I'm going to start producing carbon. And now I produce 9 carbon an hour. Not much, but I mean, considering the fact that I had no experience and I was just playing around, I'm surprised I even got this far, to be honest. And I've got building blocking, so when you build one, you can't build again. It tells you cannot build or upgrade another building. So it's got some basic functionality and logic and all that. So I mean, considering what I know now, so I'm rather not going to build anything until I get done with the courses and then come back and then, you know. But yeah, sorry, I missed the chat. Let me go back to chat. All older tutorials show how to use var for JS, and new ones I found say that I shouldn't use var and should use const and let. Yeah, so ES6 introduced var and let because var, if you assign a... Look at me, I'm like able to actually teach something now with the knowledge that I've learned. So vars you can override. So let's say you had var equal to var a equal to 1. You can go var a equal to 2, and when I go console.log, what do you think the value of a is going to be? I need to remove strict. Everything's running in strict now, god damn it. Let me go to VS Code because they're using Babel, so it kind of messes up with things. So let's go here. I don't think I use strict here, so we're just going to stick that there. And then in our output, where's our output? Over here. I'm going to run this code. Oh god, I have a lot of broken things in here. But here, can you see here? The output is 2. Even though a was set to 1, and somewhere down the line, later in our code, we set a to 2. And you see how that causes an issue. Whereas if I said let a equal to 1 and let a equal to 2 and I run the code, you're going to get an issue. Do you see here? Identify a has already been declared, so it's going to show you an error and it's not going to allow you to redefine that variable, which is super handy, super useful. So that's just one example. So you always want to use let. And const is just for things that never change. If you know for a fact that, for example, let's say pi, the value of pi should never change, right? So you'd use that as a constant. And lock it in as such. Whereas variables that you know are going to change, like let's say player health, for example, game related, player money, whatever, you would use let for, because that changes all the time. Constants are for things that don't change. That's the easiest way that I took it in. Sorry, I'm still reading a backlog of chat here. Are you using Babel x Diglet? No, I am not. My import is... Let me find it quickly. I froze my Explorer. D. There it is. Coding. Where's my lint file? There's my lint file. Oh god. Notepad++, I loved you once upon a time, but not anymore. So you see, I'm just using the Airbnb base. So now I'm not using Babel yet. I haven't set that up. I'll still figure out. I know that apparently it fixes a lot of things, that and TypeScript, but I'm still not there yet. And how do I install that? What is the name? H3H3? Is that an extension or something? Yeah, so you need VS Code first. This is this editor, incredible editor. Then you will go down to the bottom left here. You'll see there's extensions. So you can just search for ESLint. Then you're also going to need to install ESLint globally on your machine with npm. So install Node.js, you'll go npm install ESLint, and then use the hyphenated G command so you can install it globally. Then that's initialize global. Then what you're going to need to do is have a .eslint rc.js file that you stick into your root of your project. If you want to, for example, extend the Airbnb base to follow Airbnb's best practices, and you can set your own rules as well. I just set complexity to 5 so that I keep my functions nice and simple. It's not like a live metric, but it's something. And then obviously set your environment to browser and Node if you're going to work with web apps, because otherwise you're going to get errors like document. I can show you here. So you know my calls to document.getElementBy. So if I didn't have that in there, the browser and whatever, and we go here, you're going to get errors such as, I should probably save this. There you go. You're going to get here, document is not defined because the environment is not set to browser. So we save that and then suddenly the error goes. Whew, okay, still got a backload of chat. Jesus. For your renaming example, try this. Const user equal to name xdiglet age. Okay, so you want me for the renaming. H3H3, it's worth it. Like if you just Google it, there's a lot of setups. Just Google VS Code, ESLint setup or guide or whatever, and that will help you get it running. It's not that hard. Once it's set up, it will highlight things. You don't need to have the Airbnb base like I do. I just like to follow that standard in the practice. I think it's really cool. But then it helps you fix things like if I had to type let a equal to string, it will tell me like, hey, you shouldn't be using double quotes because we prefer single quotes. And you can just go quick fix this quotes problem, like, oh, what? It just solved it. Or even better, just save the file and it automatically changes everything for you if you have fix enabled. Which you just go to your settings, you go to your extensions, go to ESLint, and then turn autofix on save. And yeah, there's a lot of things you can play around and practice with. It's fun, really. Oh, what was I doing here? Ah, right. Anyway, back to this. Can it type entire code for me? Well, you could do something like this. Check this out. You want an object constructor? Just type in constructor. Hold on. What was it again? C-O-N? I can't remember the short form for it. Trying to remember. Let's say a function. If I type in fun, right, function, then all I need to define is the name of the function, my function, and I already have everything ready to go. console.log params. So when you call my function, hey, and then run the bit of code, you get hey. Look at that. Cool, huh? So yeah, it's got IntelliSense and it allows you to like add snippets as well. If I could just remember what the snippets were. But as you're typing, common use stuff. So constructor. And then, oh, it was obj, right? For object. Object. Just type object. I'm sure it was object, wasn't it? There's a lot of things that you can do. Add event listener. That's cool. Alert. That's cool. Yeah, but anyway. I need to go back to Firefox. Can it... I already answered that. For your renaming example. Did I have a renaming example? Renaming. Sorry, what renaming example did I have again? I don't remember necessarily having a renaming example. Did I? H3H3 free code camp. Just stop questioning things, because that seems to be what you do all the time, is question everything. Just do it. Because I used to question it as well, and it made logical sense. Because now I'm at ES6. They teach you the basics because you need to know about variables and how you define them. And variables are still relevant in that you assign them to the global scope. That's the only real way that you can assign them to the global scope, is with var. They are relevant, and once you get to the section on ES6, you will be taught about let and const. So just follow the curriculum. It's very much relevant, and they'll teach you everything that you need. You're renaming the x variable to a there. Oh right, yes I am. You know, another thing that's cool about VS Code, check this out. This is not formatted. So if I just post this here and save it, oh, it's a single line. I would have thought that it would format it at least. That's interesting. So let me just break line and then save. Or let me apply formatting to it. Format document with beautify. And then save. Boom. There you go. That's a bit better. I'm gonna have to set that up at some point. Not gonna waste time with it now. So let's stick that back in so it's a bit more readable. You didn't define const here. I'm not sure what you're trying to do here. Oh, you defined... Wait, what? That's interesting. Not that it works, at least in this case. H3H3, I know everything is just confusing. If you go back and do the basics, start from the beginning of the JavaScript section, like, you will pick it up over time. Just don't skip anything. And just take your time, and you will get there. I mean, I got this far doing it, so... it's the same your voxel example above. Right, I see what you mean. It's the same, but can you run it? No, I can't. Nothing is outputting to the console, as you can see. Although, you know what? It might just be because of A. A is causing an issue. So if I remove that and remove A from here, there you go, I can run it. I get Diglet and 99. So what is the issue then? Oh, you have like a map key. Oh, you specified name to be username, and you specified age to be user age. And then is equal to the user object, which is that. That doesn't change anything. So if that works, and it does work, maybe A is already defined somewhere. Let's try. Yeah, that is strange. I'm gonna call it like my var. Because there's no reason why that shouldn't work. And then if I console log my var, it doesn't work. And the issue is specifically with me having it that way. Does each one have to have a variable? That's weird. So with your example it works. And it's not because it's a variable. And you didn't even define it anywhere, and it just worked. Weird, huh? Removing the console log x, because that's not defined when you rename it. No, it doesn't need a variable each. Removing x? Why would we remove console log x? It is defined. Oh, do you mean because I changed it? Are you... Oh, that's what the issue is. I can't call them anymore. Interesting. So if I assign them like this, they suddenly lose scope. And X is no longer a thing. Wow. So it just died. And X became non-existent. X used to be a thing. Wow, that's something new. So if you assign, the previous variable stops being used altogether. Either that or it's no longer in the scope. I would have to obviously do some tests to see, but that was the issue. So when you assign to the new variable, you need to call the new variable. You can't call the existing variable. It doesn't work then. And obviously this is not going to throw an error as to why. But maybe we can check in VS Code quickly. Just to try and figure out why. So if I to log x, we get an issue. X is not defined. Interesting. But x is defined there. Ah. Wow. can also run quokka on this. Keep misspelling it. It's cool to have that inline like values, isn't it? I love that. Cool. So we know what the issue is. Solved it. Let's continue with the lesson now. Thanks for that, Diglett. I appreciate it. It's something new. I love learning new things. So we know about this, we know about destructuring works now. It's very interesting. So I got to remember that the first, when you destructure, oh, that's what I wanted to test quickly. Okay, so without the assignments, I just want to do them like this. That's something I wasn't sure of. X, Y, and Z, right? So without the assignments, can I make these literally A, B, and C? Because that's what I wasn't sure on. Did I have to be called the property? So that doesn't work. Glad you learned something. I'm heading out. Goodbye. Cool. I hope everything goes well with you, Diglett. Thanks for dropping by. Hopefully see you around some other time. So the variables that I use are referring specifically to the variables inside the voxel item. So that's how you destructure. So I can't use any variable. But if I wanted to rename them, I would have to rename them within or assign them to another variable. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. I think I got that down. Use destructuring to obtain the average temperature for tomorrow from the input object average temperatures and assign value with key tomorrow to temp of tomorrow in line. Okay, so you want me to use destructuring. So that's gonna have to be so we just want tomorrow. So we just call it like that. Equal to, and then the object, so average temperatures. So that will give us tomorrow, but then we want to assign it to temp of tomorrow. Destructuring with reassignment was used. Yeah, it was. What's the issue? It gave us 79. It said should be 79. We got 79. What the flying potato sauce? There's 79. It said should be 79. We did change it. What am I missing? Destructuring with reassignment was used. Yeah, it was. What? confusing. Destructuring with reassignment was used. Oh, do I need to use both? Is that the issue? I need today and tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to do today and then tomorrow. What? Use destruction to obtain the average temperature for tomorrow from the input object average temperature from the input object average temperatures and assign value with key tomorrow to temp of tomorrow in line. It's exactly what I've done. Unless I've somehow do you expect like another semicolon? Is that what you expect? No, you don't. And you don't expect that. That's clearly not the issue. Do I need a semicolon there? Is this a bug? Because I'm pretty sure we've done this. Destructuring with reassignment was used. Yeah, here's an example. We got the const. And we did it inline. We've done that. Equal to the object. And it even says should return 79, and look in our console log, 79. Am I just being silly now? Or is this like a known issue? Let's check quickly. Let's check on GitHub if there's any issues. No, why did I click on new issue? The only thing I can think of is if I missed some code or something, so I'm gonna reset the lesson, and then I'm just gonna wonder if I could do it like this. Nope. Can't do it like that. Returns an object. This is how it should be. There's your answer. It returns 79. We're taking the key tomorrow, assigning it to temp of tomorrow, from that object. And then we're returning temp of tomorrow. So when you log get temp of tomorrow, average temperatures, oh, maybe I need to change this to use the variable. There we go. Wow. Wow. So that was the issue, and they don't even specify. There's no error coding. I just realized that now, because we obviously using the direct object instead of using what's passed in as the parameter. I guess maybe that's on me. The outcome would have been the same, but obviously this is looking for something else, and it doesn't give you a hint on it. Whew, okay. No issues there. That was all us. Use destructuring assignment to assign variables from nested objects. We can similarly destructure nested objects into variables. Consider the following code. Start and end. Const start x, start x, y, start y, equal to a. So you only did it for start, not interesting. Use destruction assignment to obtain max of forecast tomorrow and assign it to max of tomorrow. Okay, we got this. So for tomorrow, and we're looking for the max. Assign it to max of tomorrow. Equal to forecast. That should be it. Sweet, so much more smoother. I like that. Use destructuring assignments to assign variables from arrays. Ooh, there's so much. ES6 makes destructuring arrays as easy as destructuring objects. One key difference between the spread operator and array destructuring is that the spread operator unpacks all contents of an array into a comma-separated list. Consequently, you cannot pick or choose which elements you want to assign to variables. Destructuring an array lets us do exactly that. Wow. So that's really exciting. Destructuring an array lets us do exactly that. So const AB, that's the array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Console.log AB would give us 1 and 2. the variable A is defined the first value of the array and B is assigned the second value of the array. And if we wanted specific ones, we'd have to go A, B, C, D, E, F and then assign only the ones we want, right? We can also access the value at any index in an array with the structure by using commas to reach a desired index. Oh, so you could just leave them blank. That's what I was thinking of. So A, B, so it's 1 and 2, skip 3, skip 4, skip 5 to get 6. Right? No? That's A, that's B. Oh, 1, 2 to get 5. A bit messy, but yeah, makes sense. Then you could get 1, 2, 5. Use destructuring assignment to swap the values of A and B so that A receives the value stored in B and B receives the value stored in A. So use destructuring assignment to swap the values of A and B so that A receives the value stored in B and B receives the value stored in A. I've never seen this done before. They haven't explained this. This is not an array. It's let A equal to 8, B equal to 6. So you can have a let declaration in one line. So that's the same, I guess, as writing let A equal to 8, let B equal to 6. You can have it all in one line. Wow. I'm assuming that's what's happening here. It's not an object, so how would we access it? I don't think we can do that. No. They completely messed me up with this example because they're showing arrays and this is not even an array. Unless what they mean by that is literally go A, B equal to 6, 8. Wow, okay, so everything was going fine up until this point where they again messed up and they're giving you an example that's not even relevant because one, they haven't even told me that you can assign variables on a single line, and two, the example is about arrays. Christopher, hey! How's it going, man? It's good to have you here. Everything was going well until we got to this point. So this is a arrow function from what I can tell. I have no idea what this is though. What are these parentheses and why is there a double parentheses at the end? Like, it's like some pro came in here and wrote some stuff and it's like, cool, figure it out. We've never taught you this before, but go for it. I can just tell that that's an arrow function, that part. But what is that? What's that parentheses do? And why is there 2 at the end of it? Are you calling it? Like, what the hell? When you do const a, b, c, d equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 4 variables. A equal to 1, yeah, I know that. I did the destructuring. Everything was going great. It was perfect. It made logical sense. But then I got to this point and it makes 0 sense. I get this example. That makes perfect sense too. The one thing that's confusing me first is, how do they have 2 lets on one line? They never taught us that. Can you have... So you just say let once and you can assign multiple variables on that line? And then 2, what is this type of function? They don't explain it. I guess I've just never been used to it. And they say just swap the values. I would literally just do const. I would do a equal to b. I would do that. Oh wait, but I haven't like swapped it out. It's an anonymous function that is called immediately after its definition. Well, thanks for teaching us that. Not like they've ever taught us that. So I get that part. That's an arrow function. So you wrap it up in a... parentheses. And then you call it immediately with that. Wait, can I do A1, B... Can I do it like this? And then I set... A equal to C. Oh. Confusing as all hell. You're supposed to use the bracket notation. Why? Because now I'm used to arrays, and that's not an array, so why am I doing bracket notation? That is no array. Yeah, I know it's not an array, but that's how you would call an array usually, no? That's an array. And that's an array. When you say bracket notation. So what have I done here? I've assigned A to B, and I've assigned B to A. And then I've told it... Oh, is it because of the brackets here? On the left side of the equal sign is not an array. On the left side, so you mean this is not an array? How so? Is that how destructuring works? You need to pass the... It's so confusing, this destructuring. I'm gonna have to like learn it a bit. Like it was earlier fine, like the previous ones are perfect, they make sense, but now when we get to an array and you're saying this is not an array, When I do it this way, this doesn't work. Again, if you do A, B, C, D equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, you get 4 variables. A is 1, right? Oh. Oh. I'm thinking of something else now. But changing the order doesn't affect it. And if I change it here, that doesn't affect it either. To skip the first one, I would skip like this and then go B. But to get B, I'm confused again. Wait, am I allowed to change this? And it doesn't matter the order that I put this in. So here's an example where they just explain badly. Or maybe it's just me, but I can't do this one. I hate Jay, it's already 2 minutes into free code camp. It gets better. And you gotta practice, that's the thing. You're saying this syntax was fine, right? But then why is A not outputting? A should be 6. Oh, I had it as A and B. I think I was confused because I'm not seeing the console change here. Do you see what I mean? A should be 6, but it's not. It's 8. I haven't clicked the hint yet. At all, ever. H3, H3. So A will be the value of B. So A will be 6 and B, which is a logic. So yeah, that's what I want, but the value isn't changing. I gotta run the function, don't I? Yeah, it didn't work. Value of A should be 6 after swapping. So they didn't swap. Why would I remove the const? Oh, now it worked. What? Why did the const ruin it? You're inside a function. Const is a block scope. Then why are they showing us this? Because we're outside of... Do you see what I mean? It's like they want to confuse us purposely. They don't even explain any of this. Let me go back and help H3H3. What lesson are you on, H3H3? No, everything else was explained nicely. It's this stuff that doesn't make sense. You're gonna hate ES6 because some things they don't explain. No, just look at it. Which one are you stuck on? I just want to see if it makes sense. Which one are you on, H3H3? Is it add two numbers? Increment. Where the hell are you? I don't see oh, increment a number. Oh, okay. Yeah, they tell you what to do. My var should equal 88, that you know. My var equal to my var plus 1. So they're kind of telling you this entire line should be changed, which is what they've told you. And you need to be using the plus plus operator. Do not change code above the line. So look at the very first example they give you. Do you notice anything with the I? Look right in the beginning when they tell you is the equivalent of. Do you notice anything? They give you an example and they tell you what the equivalent of that is. Do you notice anything? Look carefully because the basics are easy. You won't struggle. Everything that you need is literally in it. It's when you get to ES6 that the stuff doesn't make sense. You're gonna have to be Googling or have someone amazing like Christopher to point things out to you. No, you're not. You're gonna have the basics down. Once you know the basics, then from there you can troubleshoot and Google. I didn't Google at all. Just keep that in mind. I could have Googled. I was just trying to sit there and struggle. Do you see what I'm referring to though, right? For this section. Did you get it yet? Try not to get a hint. And try to actually figure it out. Have you still not got it? Okay. So look at the example. They're saying you can easily increment or add 1 to a variable with the plus plus operator, right? So here they tell us that I++ is the equivalent of I equal to I plus 1. Now what if we took the code that is in the console, which is similar to this, and we reversed it to get this? How would we write that? How do we take this and get it to that? Do you see the difference? We can say I equal to I plus 1, or we can just say I plus plus. You have my var equal to my var plus 1. How do we change it? No. Notice here that they didn't say I equal to I plus plus, did they? They said I equal to I plus 1 is the equivalent of literally just saying I plus plus. So if we needed that in the same instance, what would we get? Think about it, okay? You gave me a solution where you said my var equal to my var plus plus, right? But did they say I equal to I plus plus, or did they just say I plus plus? So this right here is equal to this. You can write this like this. Now if we substitute I for my var equal to my var plus 1, what is the short form? I plus plus is the same as, think about it. I is just a variable name. In your case, I is my var. You've got my var equal to plus 1. But if we can write I equal to I plus 1, we can write it as I plus plus. Okay, did you try it? Well, give it a try, see what happens. Because you need to look at the example that they give you. Don't rush through it. Read the intro. And they will tell you that this code with the equal, with the assignment, can be literally written as just I plus plus. So you need to change the code to use the plus plus operator. Here's the plus plus operator. You take the variable and you just add plus plus to it. And that's literally it. The entire line becomes I plus plus, eliminating the need for the equal sign. You said you were adding the equal sign, but it tells you here, eliminating the need for the equal sign. And there's, yeah, they're trying to confuse us. All I can say is just read it, because the information will be in there. I had no problems getting through that section. It was when I got to ES6 that things were a little bit different. But then you're still going to have people that can help you out. So like I said, I'm more than happy to help you, just like Christopher helps me. Pay it forward, right? And look at that. And also look at what they require of you. They will tell you my var equal to my var plus 1. So they literally tell you here this entire thing must be changed. And you must use the plus plus operator. And there's the example right there of how it's used. So just take your time, read it, try different things. And once you've solved it, don't just move on. Ask yourself, why did it work? Try to understand it, because that's the most important thing you need to do, is figure out why did that just work. Because if you just accept it, if it was a lucky guess or something, you're not going to learn anything. You need to sit there and think, but why did that work? How does that work? So in this case, it works because we take our variable and we do the basic arithmetic operator of plus plus on it. So that will literally increment it by 1. We can also do minus minus, and that will de-increment it by 1. And you'll see here there's a hint where you can learn more about arithmetic operators, and you'll see how it works here. X equal to 3, y equal to x plus plus. So it's going to take x, which is 3, right? And it's going to assign it to y. But we're taking it immediately before we even do the operation, so it's going to become 3. Whereas if we did plus plus before it, y would have been 4. What's wrong with my var equal to my var plus plus? Because the logic would be you take my var, let's say my var equal to 1, right? My var equal to my var, which is 1 plus 1, right? That doesn't work because your arithmetic is x plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2, right? So you're saying my var plus plus. In essence, you're telling it my var equal to my var plus 1. That's what you're telling it. And you've got the entire whole line of my var equal to my var plus 1. And the whole point of changing this is because it's too long. So we can write that entire line as simply my var plus plus. So yeah, if you, like Christopher says, use console.log and you go my var plus plus, and you'll see we get 88, right? And what if I did my var equal to my var plus plus? Do you see what happens? Wait, hold on. Let's change this to something else. Let's change it to 1. So h3 var equal to h3 var plus plus, right? If I just console log h3 var, I get 1, which is what's expected, because h3 var is equal to 1, right? If I go h3 var plus plus, do you notice what happens? It stays 1, right? Still 1, right? Now what if we go plus plus h3 var? It becomes 2. You're like, oh, wow, what craziness is this? Why? JavaScript is broken. Because console.log is a call, okay? And you're going to print a variable out. But the operation where you add to that variable happens after that call, because it's after the number, do you see? It's pre and post. So because we have plus plus there, it's going to give us the variable at that time. We didn't get a chance to write it out. Well, get the value of it. We updated the value afterwards, but we didn't get the value. But if we add the plus plus before it, we perform that operation and then we log the variable amount, which is 2. So you need to keep that in mind. Not like it's ever really going to happen, but that is a thing. Where if you want to log a variable and do something to it, then you should log it before you call it. Well, you should update the variable in this order, like I've shown you. So here's that other example that you said. Why can't I just do var, my var equal to my var plus plus? In this case, we're substituting the plus plus to be in front because we want to see what the outcome is in console log, right? Yes, you can do that. You get 2. But why would you write that much if you can just go plus plus h3 var? It's the exact same thing. So do you want to write h3 var equal to plus plus h3 var? Or would you just prefer to write plus plus h3 var? Both do the same thing. Do you see that? I'm sorry, to better explain myself. This is a normal call for h3 var. It's going to be 1, right? We're saying, hey console, please log the amount of h3 var. That's what we're telling it. It's in steps, in orders, right? From left to right. That's how it works. Because you've learned about it, especially with assignment. And the value on the right is going to be assigned to the variable on the left, right? You know about that. So console.log says, hey, please give me the amount of h3 var. We get 1. Now let's move on. Hey console, please give me the value of h3 var. And after you've given me the value, can you also add plus 1 to it? We don't see that because we already called it at this point. And after that we're doing the assignment. But now, if I console log h3 var again, the 1 now becomes a 2. Because now we're asking for the update. But that can also be changed by simply adding the plus plus before the end over here. And now we see it as 2 and it returns as 2. Exactly the same. Does that make sense? Works the same with minus minus. If I added minus minus, it becomes 0. But if I add the minus minus at the end, you still see 1, but the actual value is 0. I know, that's how it works, but then you take a break on it and you'll remember it and it's like, yeah, that's cool. It's nice to go back and work on something more simple than what you're working on now. So I need to figure out why the hell this is a thing. So that's a new thing for me. You can do variables all on one line. Christopher, the reason why I'm not used to this is because you can define integers. So I'd go int I equal to 1, but I can't like do multiple. Otherwise I'd go int I j k equal to 0. But I can't do that in my language. I guess that's why I'm not used to it. H3H3, thanks for showing me. Of course, man. If there's ever anything I can help you with, feel free to let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. I just gotta figure out why this is a thing now. So, thanks to Christopher, so I understand that this is an anonymous function. I always knew that this was a bracket function. Arrow function. Because you don't need to give it a name. It's like anonymous. It's quick and short. I had no idea that's how you create an anonymous function. And now I know that's how you call it as well. Because normally you would call a function by going my function, like that. But since you do it immediately after, I wonder if you have two anonymous functions, what happens then? Do they get just called in order? Huh, so because we don't have a name, my function gets called like that. Interesting stuff. As for this, bracket notation, I have to use a and b equal to b and a. Okay, so that's where I literally swapped them around. And then a is equal to the first value there, which is b, and b is equal to the second value, which is a. So that's how I swapped it, okay. Ah, that makes sense. Yay, destructuring again. Use destructuring assignment with the rest operator to reassign array elements. Oh no. In some situations involving array destructuring, we might want to collect the rest of the elements into a separate array. The result is similar to array.prototype.slice, as shown below, which they haven't shown us yet, by the way. So thanks for telling us it's similar to something you've never shown us. So A, B... Oh yes, I remember rest. Whatever is afterwards. So A, B equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. What is A and B? That's 1 and 2. Oh, that's smart. And then the rest of ARR is the rest of the values. That's cool. Okay. Use destructuring assignment with the rest operator to perform an effective array.prototype.slice. Thanks again. So that array is a subarray of the original array source with the first two elements omitted. You want me to omit them? So can I go like that? There's the first one, there's the second one. There's the rest of array. Can I do that? What do you want me to return? You're going to return array. I'm in a function, so I can't use const. I need the first one. A, B. Return array. Wait, array equal to, we need source. Array is read only. Since when did you say array is read only? We definitely need the source. Oh wait, we get a list. So let's pass list. There's list. So we need list in there. Do I need to pass it like that because it's an array? And I see I don't have ARR. I need list. It's the arguments, the rest of them. I need to play around with this a little bit. I need to... Hold on, I'm getting something now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just want to see something. What is being we're getting there slowly. And I can't set a const in here, can I? Oh, I can. That's what I had to do. Now, how do we remove the first one? Can I do like a pop or something? List is source, that's what's being passed on as source. So that has to be our source. First one, second one, and then the rest of them. And it can't be array because then that's yourself and that wouldn't make any sense. Am I even doing anything to A? No. Interesting. It looks like list is empty. Yeah, list is empty. Why? And prior to me doing what I'm doing? Interesting, so now we're getting somewhere. There's list before, there's list after. Before it's full, after we just messed it up. So that doesn't change anything for us. Okay, so how does it work again? Remember, think. The first thing here okay, that's what array is. Do I need to use list here? Hey! First one blank, second one blank, rest of the arguments equal to the rest of that, right? Array should be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What is it? Oh, list is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How do we get the rest? Almost there. We've got it in the wrong order, but pretty much what we need. List is what we need now. I can't do that, can I? No. So that needs to stay as list. I'm literally trying everything right now. When I do it like this, list is empty. When I do it like this, list has the remainder. But I need arguments to be that. we need to define array. Unexpected token.
Search for dollars, sir. It isn't.
You have 2 equals? No, I don't. Where? I only have 1 equals. Const array equal to array. Where do I have 2? Official Koof, how's it going? So good to have you. Enjoy us struggling here. We were getting somewhere, just in the wrong order. Because when I did it this way, we got what we needed. Hold on. Const array equal to... You see, when we did it this way, we got exactly what we need, but it's in list instead of array. We need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but this needs to be an array, not list. Look at the example again and don't blindly guess. Const AB and then the rest of array is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the array. So then A and B are assigned 1 and 2, and then the rest of it is assigned... Oh. It's not A and B, and it's not 1 and 2, because I can't have... Read it again. A and B. But we don't have an A and B, so we can omit them blank, I think. And then this... Oh, is that my arguments? The arguments is then list, so I need to pass list here. No, but then I can't put it as array. Let's figure it again. So A and B is A is 1, B is 2, and for the rest of them, they get assigned into array. Because you log A and B, you get 1 and 2. You log array, you get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Use the structuring assignment with the rest operator to perform an effective so that array is a subarray of the original array, source. In this case, source being list, because we pass source as an argument to our function list. This needs to be list. I'm pretty sure of that. That has to be list. And that has to be argument. Because then when you return argument, you should get the remainder. Then what are we doing wrong? Because array is empty. Think about what list is. Can guess type of list. Let's do it in our function. It's an object. Don't tell me that's because I'm passing it like that instead of the actual. Oh my god. Wow. Brackets are gonna be the death of me. I'm already passing the array, the object. I should be using the property, but I was. Yeah. Well, there's that. But before we move on, let's just see how we messed up. This skips the first item, unless we assigned a variable a and b. Could we technically do a and b and it'll still work fine, right? Yeah, and then we could just console.log a, console.log b. That will give us 1 and 2 because the first value is 1, second value is 2, and then the rest of them will be assigned into array spread from list. Or we can omit that because we don't want to assign it to any variables. We just tell it remove that, give us the rest of it from list and put it into array. Yeah, so the issue that we had here is we need to keep in mind in the future, is it a property? I mean, is it a parameter from the argument? If it is, don't put it in brackets, don't put it in anything, call it directly as it is, because it's already the right type. The moment I went and I added brackets, I was looking for that item specifically. Yeah. Wow. I'm glad we got through that. I think this is the last bit of destructuring. Destructuring assignment to pass an object as a function's parameter. Oh yay! In some cases you can destructure the object in a function argument itself. Consider the code below. Profile update equal to, so profile update arrow function const name, age, nationality, location equal to profile data. Hold on. Do you understand what list returned? List returned the object itself. It didn't return the values in the object, right? So let me understand this. Profile update. That is the variable. Oh, this was profile data. Oh wait, this is what confused me. So the parameter is profile data. So we're passing a parameter profile data into an arrow function which is equal to profile data. What? When you did list, you're up to right. Okay. Yeah, because the brackets mean array. So I put the array in an array. Sorry, I would have gone back, but it doesn't save your code, so I would have had to do everything from scratch again. Before I even move on with this, I want to try and understand what the hell is going on here. So profile update is the variable, which is equal to, it takes a parameter. This is a function right here. This is a arrow function. Takes profile data, but how does that run? If profile data is there, how does it get profile data before that? This effectively destructures the object sent into the function. This can also be done in place. Do something with these fields. This removes some extra lines and makes our code look neat. This has the added benefit of not having to manipulate an entire object in a function. Only the fields that are needed are copied inside the function. Oh, I think I get it. I just wish they showed us what profile data was. Profile data probably has all of these things and more, and all we want is name, age, nationality, location. This is something they could have done. They could have shown us profile data. That would have been easier. Then we would have seen it and be like, oh, okay, it has these things and more, but we only want to work on these things. Okay, I think I get it. Use destruction assignment with the argument to the function half to send only max and min inside the function. Should be object is an object. Should be 28015 is 28015. Let's do it. So what do we care about? To send only max and min inside the function. So probably function half. Am I gonna do it as their example? Because how can I do a... You call the function...
Official Kloof is following the family.
Welcome to the Matrix, Official Kloof. When you call half with stats, return the function this is confusing. So the code as is. This is a function. It's called half. It gets stats, which you passed in, which returns stats.max plus stats.min divided by 2. Use destructuring assignment with the argument to the function half to send only max and min. Inside the function. Do I still need this divided by 2 thing? Within the argument to the function. So within the argument. This is the argument. I need to take stats. So how would I write that? Like that? Needs to be within the argument. This is like something new completely. Wow. Because as their example, if I want max and min, I need something like that. And it's not gonna... Wait, no. Really? Can't just be that. How? 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 That makes no sense. Because this example and this, and how is it like part of the scope? You call half, which is already a function, and then I literally call max? But where is it getting stats from? Where did you pass stats? Oh, because you call half, you pass in stats. The argument, because that's the argument, and all you took out of that is max and min. Wow, that makes sense now, because we go back to the original. You call half, that's the function, you gave it stats as the argument, so it's going to call function itself with stats, and stats is already given, so if we change that to max and min, wow. Can we be done with destructuring now? I would like to do that in my own time some other time. That's just crazy. Wow. That just blew my mind. I definitely need to come back and do some refreshers on that. Play around with destructuring in other ways. This is going to be fun. Creating strings using temporal literals. Template literals. That's when you use the brackets and with the $, if I remember correctly. The destructuring is quite big, but also very helpful. Create strings using template literals. A new feature of ES6 is a template literal. This is a special type of string that makes creating complex strings easier. Yeah, because otherwise you'd have to add the plus and then this plus that. Template literals allow you to create multi-line strings and to use string interpolation features to create strings. Consider the code below. Contact person, name, zodiac, Casper, age 56. Template literal with multi-line and string interpolation. Greeting equal to hello, my name is person.name. Wow, so there's no like plus and this plus that. I am person.age years old. Console.log greeting prints hello, my name is Zodiac Casper, I'm 56 years old. A lot of things happened there. Firstly, the example uses backticks, not quotes, to wrap the string. Secondly, notice that the string is multi-line, both in the code and the output. Wow. So that's like a new line and treats it like that if you do it like that. Wow. This saves inserting the new line within strings. The $variable syntax used above is a placeholder. Basically, you won't have to use concatenation with the plus operator anymore. To add variables to strings, you just drop the literal in a template string and wrap it with the and that. Similarly, you can include other expressions in your string literal, for example a plus b. This new way of creating strings gives you more flexibility to create robust strings. Use template literal syntax with backticks to display each entry of the result object's failure array. Each entry should be wrapped inside a list item element with the class attribute text warning and listed within the result display array. Okay. Results failure. Which is result dot failure Let's see what else we need to do. Each entry. Oh, that's not each entry. Are we allowed to use loops? Oh, we have an argument that's passed. Only 16 days in, doing pretty good, man. Thanks. Any other programming experience before this one? A little bit in Papyrus. It's a scripting language from Skyrim. Skyrim, Fallout. I think those are the only two. And yeah, no prior knowledge from that. Just banging my head against, the desk every time I couldn't understand something until it made sense, more or less, and trial and error. That's pretty much, yeah, how I managed to get some kind of experience in. I wish they would tell you, but they don't. Because I'm kind of unsure. Because you need to list every item. That makes me think we need to, because we've been using the structure, I'm assuming they'd want us to use that instead of now for loops, because they've taught us how that works. So we need no var on top, line break. You need me to do 1, 2, 3. So let's see how we would go about doing that. Destructuring, if we can remember now, was, let's just name it test equal to I know that it must end with array. And we must give it the variables. We want that to be A, B, and C. That's the argument that was passed. And if this is array, oh, we need dot failure, don't we? And if I do it like this, it's going to be an array in an array, which is what we don't want. And I do like array 1. No. It's gonna take some practice, but I think we can get there. We do like array failure, we have to use dot notation. Can I console.log array? What does array contain? Start with the basics. No var, var on top, line break. What? Oh, it already did it for us. What? I didn't see that. Make list result.failure. It's already doing it for us. I should have done that in the beginning, shouldn't I? So we already have no var, var on top, line break. So if we want to break that up, to get it one by one, do I need the brackets now? It's not working. Does this need to be in a bracket? No, it's not that either. Destructuring, think about it. The output, let's get the output here so that we know what we're working with. The output is no var, var on top, line break. We need to somehow pull those out one by one. An example that we used to do, let's look up destructuring. And let's see if we can figure out what we're doing wrong. There's the variable a, b, rest. a, b equal to 10, 20. Console.log is a. Console.log is b is 20. Hey Verani, it's good to have you here again. I've set up some interesting stuff with VS Code, by the way. Super excited to soon be working with it. I got those brackets in. Make it nice and big for you to see. Got the nice different colored brackets. So it's quite useful to see where things start and end. I got the peak as well, so I can check the constants and where they're used and whatnot, the definitions. I've got the live server as well, so I could see as I make the changes live. It's really cool. So thanks for pointing those things out, I really appreciate it. But now back to trying to figure out why. Syntax. Okay, that's one example. That's another example. Is this an object? I think we need this one. I think that's for an array. That's for a variable. That's for an object, if I'm not mistaken. So there's 3 different ways to access: variables, arrays, objects. I wish they told you that. By the way, there's 3 different ways that you can destructure arrays, objects, and variables. Here's the example. I'm assuming it's that because that's an object. So then in our example, for this to work, wait, where did my code go? Oh, there it is. That needs to become that equal to, and then our array. Why does it have to be wrapped in a, I don't know. There we go. So console.log array. Okay, that doesn't work anymore. Console.log a doesn't work either, so we broke it somewhere. Think about it for a moment. A. It's not called a. Look at the example. A will be... Oh, the assignment. Forgot about that. Is it in my example? Yes, it is. So I have to do what? A array. How do you get the first thing? It's a little bit confusing. Don't think it's that. It is an array though, I just realized. Failure is an array. I'm wondering if that will work. Nope. Wait. Console.log array. It doesn't matter in what order I place it in. I guess the next logical thing to do is type of... It's an object. And if we wrap this around this, still an object. Okay. Am I making the same mistake as last time? No. I'm using array, which I should, which is... make list result dot failure, and that's what we're getting, the 3 things that we need. We need to split this up somehow. Am I overthinking this and I shouldn't even be using destructuring? It just seems logical that we would destructure, but now how do I take that as is and just freaking say that A, B, C equal to array? Why can't that just work? Whoopsie. It's already an object, maybe I don't need to pass it like that. I'm gonna literally try everything that I know. Do we need these things? We get a syntax error. We don't even get down here, do we? No, because something is wrong with this. And we're not getting any debugging. So we might have to go to CodePen. So we can actually get some debugging. Assignment to undeclared variable A. What do you mean, this? Okay. Sorry guys. For some reason my chat was not working at all, but I see the backlog now. Koof. Cool, have you read my suggestions? What's that extension? Peak? Peak, yes, I think it is peak. By the way, there's a delay on the stream to like 5 minutes. Yeah, I probably realized that. Refresh is probably going to fix that. It's sometimes like this. Think about assigning A, B, and C to variables and what you're destructuring. Split, you say. You're so close. By the way, you can't type of array because arrays aren't technically objects. Oh wait, are technically, sorry. Yeah. Thank you, that makes sense. Yep, right, maybe you need A, B, C to be redeclared. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at now, because I'm seeing that assignment to undeclared variable A. What does that mean, Basil? ABC is equal to... We're taking, okay, from what I remember, when we do A, we're saying A is equal to the first item no, it's lost me. And you can't use a variable in there. I can't say let A, surely. Missing after property ID. Is that what it means? I'm getting somewhere. So we declared our variable there. ABC. Let's look back at these examples. There, object destructuring. I get that. If it's not named, that's a problem. It's not named. It's failure, which gives us no var. How do you access that? The first one. It's not really an object then, is it? var AB A B equal to A1 B2. It's something else. It's not. It is object destructuring, but it's not this one, because if we took the property of it, for example, in this case it's P, we would get the value of P, but in our case we can't, because they already took the object and the property, and all they're giving us is the 3 items within it. So this is a little bit different. So what are you passing into the function? Object or an array? Array. Okay, so it's not an object anymore, that's the issue. It's array. Sorry, I'll make this a little bit bigger for you guys on the mobile. Array destructuring. There it is. There we go. I honestly don't know what I'd do without you guys at times. Like, it's a mix of figuring out and banging my head, but also a mix of like a tiny little hint that gets me going. I need to remember that in the future. At least I figured out that that is an object and that's a property, and what it's giving is an array. And with that hint of what is it passing in, it's an array, not an object. So if it's an array, we had to be looking at destructuring an array. And that's what we did. So we got no var, we got var on top, but where's line break? Why is C suddenly an issue? We got no var, var on top. Why aren't we getting the third one? Should be C. Wait, what? Oh, I had a capital C, that's why. Okay, so now that we've got that, we need to do it in the way they want us to do it. It should return a bracket. You mean it should literally return like this? Or not literally return like this? I'm confused. You want backticks in there? Why would you want backticks in there? How do I escape the backticks if the backticks are already there? Does that mean I have to like use quotes like this? Am I thinking about this wrong? Okay, so the first thing that needs to be there is a bracket. So we got a bracket. Then we somehow need a... We need to escape the backtick, I guess. Wait, it's... I need to console.log result display array. It's not a number. What? Why would it be a number? Let's remove these additions that I added. Do we need those backticks? That's what's so confusing. An official coof. I'm sorry if the hint was too much. I feel I was getting there, but yeah, it definitely helped to figure out, oh wait, it's not an object, it's an array. So it's all good. It just shows me I'm gonna have to come back and work on these things. Same way that I didn't really get objects and now I do. Now I'm gonna have to figure out destructuring. The only confusing part here is I don't know if they want the backticks in or not. I'm gonna assume they don't, because it doesn't say anything about that. So if that's the case, we can begin with Lee class equal to text warning. No var, so the message, and then Lee. And instead of result.failure, we're gonna have A, B, and C, obviously. I feel that we can do this even neater, probably in some other way. But let me just get it out first, and then it's done. Is there space after that? And because it's multi-line, I should be able to just do something like this. And change this from A to B. And then lastly create another one from B to C. It's amazing how this works. I love it. And after that, we need to close the bracket. So like that. Does that work? Result display array is a list containing result failure messages. I know that. Make list every is not a function. What? Are they using REST now somewhere? Was I supposed to use REST? Make list dot every. Okay, am I being a little bit slow here, guys? Or am I missing something here? Result display is an array containing result failure. Result display array is an array containing and yet at the same time result display array is a desired output. Oh, this is an array. Those things that I was adding is not... Okay. I think I got you now. So it needs to be an array. Oh man, this is gonna trip me up big time. So first of all, somehow result display array is an array containing result failure messages. That's gonna be fun. Just want to test something. Oh, because I've assigned it only to one item. Okay, I gotta rethink this now. Sure. Wow. Any ideas? Because somehow it needs to be the array and it needs to have the desired output all in one. Okay, so that's the first thing that needs to happen. Because it needs to be an array. And then take it in steps. So now we've got our array. Now it needs to be in a desired output store somehow. It needs to be formatted. How? Because if I change the initial... If I change it, it's no longer going to be correct. If I set this to... What else do we know? It's not destructuring. Now we need to... If we don't know how many arguments are going to be passed in, just want to test something. So that will give us and I can't do plus equal to plus. And let's completely replace it, because it's read only, because it's a constant. So we need a way to somehow add to the constant before it, because we got an array, and for each item in it, jeez, this is complicated. Do I have to specify let? Unexpected token? Did I miss something now? Why is it giving us an issue? It just absolutely hates us right now. Oh, that's why. Do I have to specify let though? I can't remember. Yeah, I do. I'm rethinking this now. I'm gonna change this now. I just want to get the logic right. That should be it. Now to make it a string, means removing this and removing that, and this needs to become array there. Remove the plus. What's the plus doing? Why can't I do plus equal to again? Official goof. What's happening? You're getting there, almost, right? Just my brain is like, lacks all ability to remember how I can add this back to the array. Did I need to wrap these in an... I can't do plus equal to. It doesn't work that way. And I can't define it outside of it and then do that. While it's in it, it's fine. Is the scope? This is a tough one. What am I missing? Because once it gets out of this for loop, because of the way it works, Ruben, how's it going? Good to have you here. Hold on. Did I do this earlier? Sorry, can you repeat? Oh, sorry, I say it's good that you're here. It's nice of you to drop by. I haven't seen you around before. I hate JavaScript again. H3, welcome back. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We used map once upon a time to add things. Not you. I don't like you. Yeah, Christopher, great minds! You and I both think at the same time. I was just thinking that. And it adds it for each element in an array. Combine that with brackets, arrow functions, and Ruben, what I'm trying to make is pass this amazing section. So we take result display. Hello. You're giving me an error, but you're not even... Where's my auto, like, helpy... God. That's decided to, like, completely stop now, not even help me. It's not even indenting the code anymore. I completely broke it. So we take the array, map, we need an argument. Failure message. Oh, hold on. Failure message, right? Then it's... No, wait, that is... Okay, so how do we make a thingy again? It is the two brackets, then the arrow, then open it up. Then... Can we just return the value itself? Then the string literal, which is this, because we're going to do it on each thing now. So text warning. I'm missing one of these, and I need one of these and close it off there. Then text warning, then template and failure message. Then end it. There. No var, bar on top, line break. Will that work? Result display array is a list containing result failure messages. It is! What are you talking about? Is an array. No, cancel. Result display is an array containing result failure message. It is an array. Is it not? What am I doing wrong? Class equal to text warning, no var, closes it. This is an array, right? It's an object, which is an array. Okay, what am I doing wrong, guys? Because from what I can tell, I'm giving it exactly what it wants. And yet, I'm not. So what is your function going to return? Oh, you're saying I don't need this return here, I need it later on. Wait, that was fine, I still need to return it again. Is what you're saying. Is that it? Oh, I hate it! Ugh! Wow. And you know, they make it so nice and simple, right? This is so simple. It's like, you can do this. It's amazing. I'm like, wow, why can't we do it? Nope, you're not going to do that. Guess what? You're going to do something completely different. You're going to go... I have literally done 3. I'm actually... Wow, I'm at a loss for words. I'm going to be proud of myself though, because the first thing I tried is we used destructuring. We got the results we needed. The second thing we tried is a for loop. We also got the things we needed. And then the third try we used map. So we at least have been trying the things that we know. Wow. So that's the original one, so we can take that out. Clean it up a little bit. Jeez, that was intense. And the thing is, this example just makes it even more confusing because I don't understand. It's like, should return this. Like exactly like that? Like literally? Is it an array? Should each individual item be an array? Like, this just made it even more confusing for me in the beginning. I'm hating this section, I'm not gonna lie. The ES6 thing, whoever did it, the way they did it, and they didn't even go through map with us. Like, I just remembered from another time I had to use it. And I was like, hey, that does everything. And I realized, okay, what is our type of data? It's an array. And then map allows us to change each item of that array. And I was like, hey, this can kind of help with what we need. So, yeah. As hard as it was, at least we remembered previous things that came to help us in the end. And I still don't understand, because result display array is an array containing the result failure messages. Oh, it is. And then is the desired output. Isn't this a bit conflicting, or is it just me, guys? Because it says that result display array should be an array containing result failure messages, as in these things, right? Yet at the same time, it's actually going to return this. So how does it pass two cases at once? Is it just the way they worded it, or am I thinking of it in the wrong way? You had to push in the for loop, by the way. What do you mean? It's clearly array, string, string, string. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it like that, I guess. But I mean, why does it have those backticks in it? That's not how an array looks. Then it would look like this, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, or whatever. Year 6 is awesome. They explain the task and hints pretty bad though. At least in this exercise. Yeah. Instructions are pretty clear for me. Well, they're not clear for me. My cat, a horse, 3 cars, and a tiny black hole are now stuck in the ceiling fan. It's exactly how it would look in the dev console. You know, I would love to use the dev console, but have you not seen what happens each time? Because of the way they pollute it with their Babel checks constantly, I can't even actually use the dev console. So I would have to take this out into a pen and then check from there. So if I want to use the dev console, I have to check here. It's not exactly how it looks. They don't use backticks. That's what I said was confusing. You use the quotes. You don't use backticks. So no, it's not exactly as the way as it would be in the dev console. Those are double quotes, and their example is backticks. But whatever, we did it. We passed. Backticks and quotes, huge difference, so confusing. Yes, it is when they're trying to teach us about freaking template literals and that backticks belong in template literals. Yes, it is. It is confusing when this is the first time we're doing something like this. Especially that I'm using, you know, backticks here. And if the backticks, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm not even gonna have this discussion. We passed. It is what it is. We're gonna remember this. It's gonna be something etched into our brain. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. Wow. But I'll remember. Same way I remembered map. Map was also nightmarish, remember, initially for me the first time. But then we remembered it and now it came to our rescue. But I'm gonna end off things here for now. I've had quite enough. Like, my brain is just mush right now. I feel if I go into the next thing, I'm not even gonna understand anything. So I really want to thank you all for coming out once again. Means a lot to me. I feel that I'm not alone in this journey, which feels amazing. To just know that you guys are here, even if you just pop in and out and you say hi, you're like, wow, check your progress. It's like really cool. It's motivating to hear. It's like you're this far, 16 days in. Considering the fact that I also did those web design projects, yeah, it's exciting. Maybe I'm going a bit too fast. I don't know. There's no real set pace. I feel that I do the next task once I've like completely figured out the previous task, but things like this is going to require a bit more repetition. Like objects I struggled with, and then I played around for a few hours just going crazy with objects and properties and figuring out that methods are part of an object while they functions in an object. And maybe that's just something I have to do here with the destructuring and everything else we really struggled with. But yeah, official Koof, thank you for streaming, mad fun. Of course, I'm glad. I really appreciate that. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Hopefully get an earlier start and we can continue with the sections. There's only a few more things left in ES6. And obviously ES6 is going to be the latest stuff. in the JavaScript ECMA script spec. So then hopefully things go back to being a little bit... I say that, then I see regular expressions. Oh, I can tell you now I'm going to struggle here. I can tell you I have zero experience. I know star dot star to match everything, or star dot, you know, an extension, but that's it. Like, that is literally it. At least I had some prior coding experience. This is going to be fun. So hopefully someone knows regex. And hopefully they explain it better. But yeah, the rest of ES6... yeah, I have no idea what to say. That looks interesting. Import everything from a file. I look forward to that. But yeah, what's coming, I guess, tomorrow? Regex is fun. I'm glad I know you, Christopher. I hope you guys have an incredible one, and thanks again for all the support. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.